Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this series, Growth, Becoming More Like Christ. Over the last 4 episodes, we've been building a foundation for spiritual growth. We talked about why some people stop growing. We learned that growth requires a teachable heart. Then we discovered that growth requires self awareness. And last week, we talked about taking responsibility for our own personal or spiritual growth. But today, we arrive at what I believe is the turning point of the entire journey. Because knowing what needs to change isn't enough. Seeing the problem isn't enough. Even wanting to grow isn't enough. Growth requires obedience. Have you ever noticed that most Christians already know far more than they are actually living? We know we should forgive. We know we should pray. We know we should trust God. We know we should love our enemies. We know we should spend time in God's Word. The problem usually isn't a lack of knowledge. The problem is obedience. Because spiritual maturity isn't measured by how much truth you know. It is measured by how much truth you obey. Jesus said something so simple yet so challenging. If you love me, keep my commands. Notice that he didn't say, if you love me, you'll know all the answers. Or, if you love me, you'll never struggle. Or, if you love me, you will never fail. He said, if you love me, obey me. That tells me something important. Obedience isn't about earning God's love. It is our response to His love. When my children obey me, I don't love them more. They are already my children. Their obedience flows out of trust in our relationship. The same is true with God. We don't obey to become His children. We obey because we already are. Obedience is simply love in action. I don't think most of us need another sermon about forgiveness. We already know we should forgive, right? We don't necessarily need another Bible study about prayer. We already know we should pray. We don't need convincing that we should trust God. We know that too. The question isn't, what do I know? The question is, what am I doing with what I already know? James writes, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourself. Do what it says. That verse convicts me every time I read it, because it's possible to spend years learning about Jesus without becoming more like Him. Knowledge without obedience produces spiritual stagnation. but obedience transforms us. Sometimes we think God only cares about the big decisions, where we work, who we marry, where we live, stuff like that. But I've learned that God is just as interested in the small decisions. Like, will you forgive today? Will you tell the truth? Will you apologize? Will you choose patience? Will you be generous? Will you spend time with Him before you reach for your phone? Will you trust Him even when you don't understand? Our lives are shaped by thousands of ordinary acts of obedience. Our decision may not seem significant, but over time, those decisions shape our character. Every act of obedience is another step toward becoming more like Christ. People sometimes ask me, what changed your life? Was it a seminar, a conference, a book, a mentor, a new opportunity? And honestly, none of those things changed my life the way one decision did. The moment I fully surrendered my life to Jesus, everything changed. Not overnight, but directionally. My priorities changed. The way I viewed success changed. The way I loved my family changed. The way I approached my work changed. The way I handled money changed. The way I responded to difficult people changed.